VoxWave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Android users, the VoxWave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android device to listen in and view programs.
Business owners looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VoxWave is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
The world's #1 streaming music station, VoxWave.com.
We have your favorite shows on VoxWave.com. Check out our lineup. The Kim Show, Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. In the End We Win with Curtis, Mondays, 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Cooking with Flavors with your host, Chef Flavors, Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Slick Daddy Rick, Heartbeat Congo Hour, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Impact the World Radio TV Show with Cheryl Woods, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Digital Digest with your host, Digital Ace, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Live Set Wednesdays with your host, Frank Dent, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. The BGKH Show with your hosts, Dominion and Epic, Wednesdays, 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. You, Math, and Me with George Randall, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then, on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., The 640 Evening Show, Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Peace in the Morning Show with your host, Darius A. Stanton, co-host, Delicate Daryl Barnes, and Queen Ayakidobi, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Hall Street Journal with your host, Robert Hall, and co-host Clarence Sanders, Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Frank, The Success Principles, Friday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Chanel's 3 Cents, Friday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Daryl Allen Harrison II Crime Victims Foundation Show, hosted by Daryl Harrison II, every Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. The Rush Hour with DJ Drew and Janique, every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Different Minds Show, hosted by DJ Bam 640 and DJ Andre Michael, and your co-host, MC Fran, every Friday, 9:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. The Healer Blues Show, with host Ron Jackson, every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hour of Power, with your host, Reverend Winters Rogers, every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And again, the Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., Saturday, 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And don't forget Four Sisters Live Talk, Saturday at 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Turning dreams into reality talk show with your host, Tashika L. Green, every second Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Walk in Newness 24/7 with Missionary Antoinette, Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. News, ULM, news and analysis, information, sports, and black history with your news anchor, Roderick Carter Willis, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Step your game up with the Youth Project, hosted by DJ Main and DJ Low Hefe, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And don't miss The To Go Show with Kim Brown, Saturdays 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I Am Dr. Sharon Show, each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., featuring The Grind, Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now. The Riri Williams Show, Fashion and Style Hour, every first Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Real Talk 101, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. And every third Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m., the Third Sunday Tea Talk Show with Dr. Akita Pearson. Gospel Live TV Show with host Gloria Mello, each Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Listen to all your favorite shows on VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com, streaming your favorite jazz, blues, and R&B 24/7.
out. 6 in the morning, you can hear her start to shout. 7 in the morning, she'll be calling the cab. 8 in the morning, talking about the bus she had. 9 in the morning, then she's just getting home. Talking about the overnight scenario. 3 in the morning, the pancake house. 4 in the morning, we'll be rolling to my house. 5 in the morning, the lights go out. 6 in the morning, you can hear her start to shout. 7 in the morning, she'll be calling the cab. 8 in the morning, talking about the bus she had. 9 in the morning, then she just getting home. Talking about the overnight scenario. Hey, Michael Brown. Yeah, the overnight scenario. Sample City. The overnight scenario. Hey, River Turn. Say what? The overnight scenario. Hey, cut away. Hey, y'all, one more time, come on. 3 in the morning, the pancake house. Yeah. 4 in the morning, we'll be rolling to my house. 5 in the morning, the lights go out. Come on. 6 in the morning, you can hear her start to shout. 7 in the morning, she'll be calling the cab. 8 in the morning, talking about the bus she had. 9 in the morning, then she just getting home. Talking about the overnight scenario. 3 in the morning, the pancake house. 4 in the morning, we'll be rolling to my house. 5 in the morning, the lights go out. 6 in the morning, you can hear us on the shout. 7 in the morning, she'll be calling the cab. 8 in the morning, talking about the bus she had. 9 in the morning, then she just getting home. Talking about the overnight scenario.
There she was, fine as a dove, screaming, show you, let me show you how. Listen close to how the story goes. I'm gonna drop a few lines of the scenario. Miss Thing got game, shows no shame. She said she wanna go. I said, meet me at the ice show. I wanna see what it's about. I wanna hear. Wait a minute. Sure. 3 in the morning, the freak starts to stare. And we got the Willow Road hunters over here. Scenario, come on. 3 in the morning, the freak starts to stare. We all right. Yeah, say what? We got your walk.
Hello, and welcome to Time for a Change with Sherry.
And McKeon.
And we are back again on an awesome Monday. I told you I look forward to Mondays now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, there's no more dreary, oh my gosh, it's Monday. I'm like, okay, it's Monday.
You get perked
all right,
up, right?
I'm ready. Okay, I can do this. Right? So I'm excited. So what did you do over the weekend?
Oh my goodness, the weekend was good. You know, I did the
it was beautiful too.
I did the workshop over at DeMatha High School, the sports program they have over there, and so they brought us in to talk about teen dating violence and healthy relationships. I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the Redskins players was there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cannot remember his name, but it's an awesome program. Tenickia Wilson, she is one of our sisters in the fight against domestic violence, and she hosts this program. And it was just awesome because, you know, in the news we see so many athletes that's getting caught up with domestic violence situation. So we're trying to teach the youth to, you know, to be able to recognize these red flags and also to let boys understand that they don't have to be abused as well.
That's right.
Because it's always that woman thing that the woman is
the aggressor.
abused and the man is the abuser, the aggressor. But we got a lot of women that's aggressive too, and men are not saying anything because they're weak if they say anything about domestic violence. So we're teaching the young boys to understand that, you know, to recognize these relationships, a lot of the verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and just to help them to understand that, you know, it only takes one altercation to change their lives.
Yes.
And, you know, and they're on the path where they want to play
a lot going
professional ball. You know, they want to go to college and do these things.
And they were so attentive.
Oh, my goodness. When I kept
really
looking
were.
around the room when I was speaking, their eyes was just so big. They was like, is she really telling us that, you know, we have a voice when it comes to domestic violence? And so just to let them know that, yes, young men, you do have a voice with domestic violence, because domestic violence will offer you resources as well as the female.
Yeah. And even by the time I got there, you had finished speaking, but you know, even to the panel, they were just very attentive. You could tell they were a little restless, but you know, they asked questions and so I thought that was a really good program.
Very interactive,
very
and
good
I love to see that because we always see that because it was supposed to be a parents' class as well.
Okay.
There, and so it's always good when we separate them because we get them to be their real selves, where they don't have to worry about their parents being in the room and what they're going to say or what they're going to ask about. So it's always good, and so I congratulate Tenickia and the coach over at DeMatha for bringing this program, and hopefully we can get this program in more schools.
Exactly, and we need it in more schools.
Yeah,
so it was a really good program. It really was. And then Sunday, of course.
Sunday, yes, we are out on the campaign trail.
we're always doing something, right?
Always doing something.
On the campaign trail, we attended Crystal, or rather, we attended her campaign fundraiser.
Look, I have her button.
Oh, you sure do.
So we're gonna vote for KO. She is actually running for Prince George's County Council, District 7.
District 7.
So, you know, we are definitely...
She was on the show in March.
Yes.
We had the candidates out on the show. She was here. And very well-spoken young lady, very and passionate about her community. And so we went to her fundraiser, and it was really nice.
It was really nice. I mean...
Nice turnout.
Nice turnout. I'm even going to go canvassing with them. I strongly support her, her platforms and everything. And I really believe, you know, she's young. And I love, you know, with the young people, so many young people now that's running for office, but I love it because we need that change. We need now people that has a different perspective. Because sometimes, you know, we get so comfortable as we grow older, we get comfortable in our positions.
And you know, the children are making moves though.
Absolutely. You know, I was a part of the March for Life. I had to got to go and witness that firsthand, to be able to get VIP to that, and just me to be there at that rally and see that it took the youth to come together for change. You know what I'm saying? So we have to support them. And we have to back them. That's why I love Crystal. She is doing the daggone thing, and so hopefully we'll have these new eyes in there for us, and not just a person that, you know, they come out and introduce themselves during election time, and then when it's time for them to get behind them closed doors to vote on things for the community, they're not voting for, they're not standing and voting on how we think they exactly.
And that's what it has turned into, a serious circus of status. You know, so I encourage our youth out there. We have a young voter in the audience, in the studio with us tonight. So encourage your friends to get out there and vote. Your vote is very important. No matter what goes on in this crazy judicial system that we have, know that your vote matters.
Yes, it does.
And no matter how, you know, minute it may seem, it matters. And we've got to do our part, and especially in those primary, right?
Yes.
Not general, right? We're in primary elections. We have to do our part.
Absolutely. And we have to understand that we just don't go out and vote every 4 years for a new president. Because a lot of times at that level, then we always sit back and say, well, this president didn't do anything for us. It doesn't get to our level. Our local officials is the one that take care of us, that's committed to our communities. So we have to make sure that we're putting them in place. Because a lot of times that federal funding is cut. So by the time it gets to the local place, it's cutting, and then they get more money in salaries, as we found out, salaries. And then it was so heartbreaking to hear the numbers for our local communities. We just heard that for Seat Pleasant, for the city of Seat Pleasant, their last city council, they only had people, well, I'm going to say the whole race, because, you know, they said they only had 200 residents come out and vote.
And in that community, I think you have, what did they say, a good number was in Seat Pleasant. Was that just the municipal election they were talking about? So, yeah, and to have, they said that was about maybe 10% or 20%?
10%, between 10 and 20% of the community to come out and vote.
That is
heartbreaking.
That's not even heartbreaking. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
It's very embarrassing. And then there are people on social media. I made a post today on the status of where Black folks are in their money, in their households, and how much they have in their debt to income ratio, right? And how much the black family probably has versus Caucasians and versus the Latinos. And of course, we're at the bottom again. Right? And someone on the page said, "Don't let this fool you. This is just another design for them to fool you, to make them think that we're not doing anything." And then I look at
propaganda. They said it's propaganda.
And then I look at the real numbers, and like we were at the thing yesterday, and they're telling us that 10 to 20% of a community came out to vote on a local election.
Absolutely. But we know those numbers. We're
you
in
have
those
to know what you're talking
We're in
about.
those meetings.
Right.
We're in those town hall meetings. We're in the civic association meetings. And you're not showing up.
And this is not the only one.
No.
So it's not just this one association. It's not just this one municipality. This is up and down the East Coast that we're having these major issues with getting people out and getting involved. So this is not just propaganda. This is now. Are their numbers accurate? I can't say. I really can't say, because I like to look a little bit more into it. But when I look at the numbers and the stats of everything that I'm dealing with here and what I see, you're daggone right. It's right. Yeah, it's right. And we ought to be ashamed of ourselves for living behind this facade to make it seem like it's not. That everything is okay.
Absolutely.
You know, so we've got to get it together. Vote, vote, vote. I encourage you. Of course, Prince George's County, Maryland, will be voting on June the 26th. Make sure you go out and vote in your primaries. Get informed. Get educated on the people that are on the ballots. Please, it's online. You have no excuse not to know who is running and what they stand for. You have no excuse. There's too many debates going on and forums out here that are going on in these last few weeks, so that you can get informed. So make sure you do what you need to do to elect smartly.
Yeah, because you really have to know who you really have to know who's in the race. Right. Just like I found out yesterday that there is another candidate for the Prince George's County.
And I thought we were on top
county
of things.
exec. There's another candidate out there, and he's a young guy. Oh my goodness, he's 37 years old. His name is Paul. I can't remember his last name, but we're trying to get him now to come on the show for next week, because I told his office, don't nobody know about him.
Nobody knows.
Where did he come from? Only person we knew was my bishop, of course, Bishop C. Anthony Muse. I always have to give that man a plug. Love you, Bishop Muse, and also Angela also Brooks. You know, love her too. About. You know, she's definitely out there in the community and doing what she has to do. Yeah. But we need to know this.
We need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to get involved. We have to get this information out there. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for the platform that we have to be able to bring this information out there to people. Like I said on my Facebook page a little bit earlier, I was like, a lot of these other networks, I understand that this is their business, right? They're in the business of entertaining, right? Well, we're in the business of informing.
And educating. That's right.
And bringing awareness to certain things. So if you're ready to be educated, informed, and find out resources and tools to make your community better, and to just try and do things differently, you need to tune in to us.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep the community motivated, like my organization stands for. Keon Works, keeping each other motivated works. Because as long as we stand beside each other and keep each other motivated and keep each other encouraged, we can make sure that we win this battle. But we can't win this battle if everybody's going to be busy being entertained.
We had enough of entertainment. I was reading something the other day, and it was talking about the entertainment of African Americans. African Americans are being entertained by violence and murder. That's considered our entertainment these days, and that's so harsh.
Wow.
That is so harsh. That's where our focus is.
That's too bad.
For fun. And and they were even saying in an article that people kill for fun. Like when you have these people out here and they just do these random acts of violence that they say, okay, well today we're going to go kill somebody today, and that's their entertainment.
Well, that's just like
then they go back and sit and talk about that.
That's just like Facebook Live, the young lady who was killed on Facebook
so yeah,
Live.
so now what we're going to do, our next segment, we're going to go right into in the news, because you know this platform we have here is dedicated towards domestic violence and those issues that people do not want to talk about. So let's talk about that, you know, about this heinous
just
situation that happened.
So a young lady, was this California?
No, it was Louisiana.
Louisiana, that's right. And she was, apparently, she was the main chick that went to the side chick because he started messing with somebody else. After you read a little bit more in the article, so apparently some of the friends were making comments on Facebook and saying that you all don't know the whole story, that she was really the main chick that turned to the side chick because he went to start dating somebody else. So she never stopped messing with him. So she was the side chick. So, and apparently she went on Facebook and put it all out there.
Yeah.
And when she put it all out there, he responded, and his response was to drive 5 hours to her house. And I guess I'm not really sure how they got to the point where she was on Facebook Live and the aunt was on the phone.
It was for an apology. She had to apologize.
Was it to the aunt though, or was it just in general?
I think she was supposed to have been apologizing to the other girl because you know she mentioned her name.
Right.
She mentioned her name and she said, "I apologize for going on live like that. I should have never said your name. I should have never done it like that. And I apologize, and I'm sorry."
Okay, so it was supposed to be an apology to the girlfriend.
Right.
Right, okay. So, but in the meantime, her aunt is on the cell phone. And so he's making threats, and he's like, F the police. I don't care about the police. F them. I wish they would pull up. Blah, 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 blah. And the young lady's still on Facebook Live, and she's saying, yeah, y'all, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said what I said. You know, I'm sorry. And he was like, yeah, you want to be Facebook famous. Yeah, you want to be Facebook famous. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make you Facebook famous. And within 2 minutes of the video, he shot her. And he killed her. And she left behind 3 children, 3 small children.
3 small children.
So, I hope I say this right. Ladies, we got to make better choices. Because, and this is not on her, but ladies, if you find yourself in a situation where you are being mistreated, misused, run all over, and treated like crap, you have got to get away from that individual. You got to get away from him. He didn't give a crap about her. He didn't care about her
to understand that it will never get better without help. It will never get better without help.
And you come to her home 5 hours, knowing she has little children, and you kill her on Facebook Live. We got a lot of work to do.
And also, it's known that if you're in a relationship, if you're in an abusive relationship with someone and they have access to guns, you are 80% more likely to be killed in that relationship because the gun makes it goes up that much more.
Right.
Of you being a victim of domestic violence and losing your life. I mean, it's just a known fact. And I know sometimes, people, we see this every day and we're in these relationships. And we always think that it's not going to happen to us.
It's not going to happen.
I can assure you that it's not if it happens to you, it's just when will it happen to you. When will your name go up on the screen saying that this happens to this person?
And I don't have any doubt that she did not think he was going to kill her.
No, why would she?
Even in that moment, she didn't think. Because the way she yelled out his name when he went to point the gun to her was almost like, what are you doing? Like, totally in shock. Like, it totally took her. I don't think she thought that, oh, okay, he's going to probably.
No, she was scared because you can tell even talking is that he probably had already pulled the gun out on her to force her to do another live.
And he shot over in the distance, but then when he
Well, they said that when those shots, he was shooting at police.
For real?
Because a police officer got shot. Yeah, a police officer got shot in the wrist.
That's right.
So the first shots with him shooting outside.
And then when he turned
and that's
to
when
her,
he turned around and turned
like,
on her.
And she yelled and she was like, you know, like, what are you doing?
Because remember, the aunt was saying that she's calling the police, and that's when he started saying, I don't care. I wish they should pull up. Tell the police to pull up.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not afraid of the police.
Just a very sad situation, everybody, and we've got to do better.
Absolutely.
We definitely, and there's a lot to do out here in this field. It really is.
Absolutely.
Anger management, mental illness, everything, abuse, all of the abuse that people have gone through, and you know, and holding that in. We got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
So we need to stop sitting back and talking about all this stuff online, not true. We got a lot of work to do.
And if there's anybody out there and you're questioning if you do not know if you're in a domestic violence relationship, you can call a domestic violence hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE, and you can talk to them discreetly and just find out, just see where you are. There is a domestic violence power and control wheel, and it can give you it gives you actual red flags to different types of abuse. And then if you see yourself in any of those things, you can make a decision to be able to change that, because you can get out of it. You can get out of it. There is help out here. There's a lot of resources throughout the country of people are now who have, whether if you need housing, whether if you need someone to go to court with you, so you need someone to show you how to file a protection order and all of these things. But you have to remember that your life and your children's lives are at stake. So we must do better. And always, and again, we always say that if you see something, say something.
Because there is life after abuse.
Yes, it is.
There's definitely life after abuse.
Yes, it is.
We went a little bit over this segment, but we are going to go ahead and take our break right now. So we'll be back with Time for a Change with Sherry
and McKeon.
We'll be right back.
The
welcome back to Time for a Change with Sherry
and McYon.
Do they get to hear the go-go?
Yeah, they do.
They hear it?
Yes, they do.
No, we were partying.
Yes, you know
okay?
we were.
You know we were. Okay, it's over. So, and if you're not from DC, I hope you appreciate the go-go that we playing for you. That's real go-go right there.
The go-go swag.
So we are here back live in the studio, and we have Caroz here with us.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank
you. Let me do a little
introduction.
Okay. Little introduction.
Okay.
That was said completely wrong.
It's okay.
As a little girl, she was always a dancer since the age of 4. Started singing at the same age and was blessed to write songs at the age of 11. 7th and 8th grade, she started drawing, which inspired her to become an artist. Once in the 9th grade, she started modeling at the Suitland High School, right here, local.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Enhanced and was very encouraged to continue her drawing at Duval High School. Now, you graduated from Duval, okay.
Yes,
and after high school, went to Prince George's Community College and started writing books. She loves to spread wisdom and life skills, and calls herself a philosopher. I know that's right.
I love spreading wisdom.
Absolutely, yes.
That's what we want, right? We want our youth to be, yes, I'm loving it. A year or two passed by, and she has her own business now. She's a full-time entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Survivor. All right. Well, I'm loving this.
Yes.
And this is her book.
Yes.
Here. Tell us more about your book and tell us more about Caroz.
Okay, so from nothing to all, just launched March 25th, 2018. It's available in ebook. It's a true story by me. I'm diagnosed with a mental illness, bipolar disorder 1, OCD, and anxiety disorder. And it all started last year, January 2017. And, you know, I had like what you call a mental breakdown. Something starting, you know, you feel like life is overwhelming. It's like, you know, you had enough, you don't want anything anymore. The car, the school, the jobs. It's just too much. And to the point, you know, where I had to be admitted to the hospital. I wasn't aware of mental illness. You know, it's there and signs are there, but you don't know. And it motivated me so much. Like, people are in my shoes. And I'm young. I'm only 20, but I know I was actually 19 at the time. And now, in this story, I talk about everything I've been through, the ups and downs, the hard hell and back, the medicines I have to take, the psychiatrist, you know. I encourage everyone, if you were ever in a mental breakdown, please get help.
Yes.
Because it's no joke, you know. It's not real, it's very silent. And this book here, I want to bring awareness. I want to bring, like you said, change, bringing positivity into this community. It doesn't get talked about a lot. And, you know, this book, I feel like it's the answer. And, you know, you always have to start somewhere. And by you guys having me on the show, getting the word out, if you are, you know, dealing with this, I have this book on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Kobo Books, if anyone is familiar with that. I also have it on Google Play Books, and there is another one if I'm mistaking it. It's my favorite one. I don't know why I'm forgetting. But it is, I will provide, you know, all the links.
Yes,
and stuff
please
like
do.
That. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm very excited. Becoming an author is amazing to me. And my organization, Survivor. Survivor main mission is helping and supporting one another, coming together to make a difference, inheriting a positive impact for eternity. It's for everyone. It's not just for my generation.
Right.
It's for, you know, women that's like you guys, older men, little girls, little boys. I feel like everybody can get something from Survivor. My main logo or main brand I put out there is you are a survivor. Whatever you go through in life, you're a survivor.
Whatever you've been through.
Whatever you've been through, you will survive it.
Yes.
And, you know, I live that every single day. It's not just, you know, something like you guys said previously, entertainment. It's not entertainment. You know, I kind of feel that a lot of times people think, you know, she's so young, she's just trying to entertain, do something for the gram, do something for social media. No, like it's forever. Like this is something that I'm trying to bring out. I'm starting it in Prince George's County.
That's right.
And
But it's not going to just
it's
stay
just going to
in Prince George.
not.
Absolutely.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
So, yes, that's definitely the case. I work hard every day. I have different events going on. Like you said, if women out here, I have a movement called Magnificent Women's Movement. It's, you know, let that woman know you are magnificent. I talked to you about that, Sherry. A young lady that we both know been through domestic violence, and she shared her story. I also had another young lady that's pregnant at the age of 16. Another young lady, she has 2 organizations. Another young lady, she's, you know, have menopause. I feel like all these ladies been through something. They're different ages, but whatever you go through, you're still magnificent. You are a survivor. Also have another event, Invincible You, that's just for kids, ages 4 to 19. I like to come, it's every month or every other month, 3 days, you know, the first of the week, like April 1st, you know, to the 2nd, to the 3rd. I like to just spread wisdom. That's where the philosophy comes from. I draw, I sing, I dance. I also have another event coming up, mainly focusing on this book. It's called Ill Visible. Stands for Intellectual Luxuriant Legends. It's to let you know that you are, you know, like, don't let this mental illness make you think that's who you are. Right. Because you're not
You're
that.
bigger than that.
You're bigger than that.
Right.
It's just what you have, and that's what I always have to remember. This is not me. This is just something that I'm dealing with. This is something that I'm suffering with. Like, it's a battle every day. People don't know, you know. And it's everybody has different walks of life. Like you guys talked about the domestic violence. You will never know what that woman been through.
Right.
So a lot of times we just have to, you know, I just like to encourage everyone. And like I said, you know, that's kind of what I have going on right now, and plan on having more events, more different programs. Just building, you know, something for the community, because it is a community organization.
Absolutely.
Awesome. You have a lot going on.
Yeah.
So tell me, well, in all of this, the busy season, because of course, you know, we know about the busy season of planning and things to do and all of that good stuff. What keeps you motivated to do those? Because I know they can become overwhelming. And with the anxiety, how do you manage that?
A lot of times it's
it's daily.
It's daily, yes. A lot of times I'm having it's called an anxiety attack.
That's right.
And that happens a lot. And you know, they call it coping skills. You have to find something to, you know, so you can work through it, so you can get through it, because I know I still have a business to maintain. Then I have my social life and stuff like that. A lot of things that keeps me motivated is music, people that say, hey, you know, this helps me. Those words of encouragement, those positive affirmations, it lets me know that I'm doing my job. It lets me know that I am doing what God has, you know, told me to do, the mission that I am on, you know, on earth to do. It's working, like it's making a change, and that's what keeps me motivated. And you know, and I just try to balance it out, and you know, just take it day by day. That's all I can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of ministries outside of the church.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
There's a lot of ministries outside of the church, and so I applaud you to be able to come forward and be so courageous to even say that that's what you're dealing with, because mental illness is a big factor, and a lot of things in our community go on because we have so many undiagnosed people that's afraid because, you know, going to see a psychologist, a therapist has been so taboo in our community because we don't want to be labeled crazy. You know, and it's not about being crazy, it's about getting the help that you need. That's just like if you walk around and your leg hanging off, you're not going to go get your leg fixed. You know, you're going to go and take care of your leg. So you got to go and take care of that brain and to understand, so you can understand why you do the things that you do.
And oftentimes people feel like the invisible illnesses are those that you don't need too much, you know, I don't need anything for that. I don't need any medication for that. Those invisible illnesses, because people don't always view those as the same, right?
Yeah.
So we look at physical handicaps and we'll say, oh, okay, well, they need a wheelchair. Okay, I understand. Or they need, you know, some type of additional help. Oh, I understand that. But when you look at mental illness and you look at immune disorders and different things like that, you kind of look like, yeah, okay, whatever, it's just an excuse. When they're fine, they're just fine. When, you know, they don't know the struggle and they don't understand what it is every day to go through it. My grandmother suffered from panic attacks. So I definitely understand, you know, and she was a registered nurse. So, you know, it can happen. And my grandfather's brother was a 4.0 student, high achieving student, but in that 19-year-old age had that break. One day he had that mental break and never was right again after that. But you know, it's just something that we just have to pay attention to and not be afraid, like you said, to go talk to someone and get the necessary help. And there's so much out here nowadays that can help keep you balanced. That, you know, we should definitely take advantage of.
And I'm going to throw something out there because, you know, I'm not politically correct. But a lot of our people, because we don't get the mental help that we need, because we have been bamboozled by religion, where people think that everything they go through, that they can just pray away everything. Like they pray, but then there's no action. Believe me, if you have an illness going on, yes, you pray to the Lord to be able to give you the strength, but you still have another process after that, that you have to take action. That God equipped these doctors with the knowledge and the education to be able to support us and to be able to live the best and the longest life that we can. So we have to remember that.
Definitely. So can you tell us more about, so the first event that you mentioned, not the one with the children, but the one before that. Magnificent
Women. Yes. You just want me to explain.
Yeah. So what are you doing with that?
Like, so I kicked it off the beginning of the year. I didn't tell anyone about it. You know, I just
those are the best ones.
Exactly.
When you don't say anything.
Hustle in silence.
Right.
Let your work speak for you.
Those are the best ones.
Yes. Like soon as December 31st, and you know, right to January 1st, I kicked it off. It kind of just flowed with everything. I knew I had a, you know, plan with it. I knew I wanted to get something for these women, all ages, something to let them know, like, you are the strong woman that somebody may not tell you every day that you are, or looking yourself in the mirror. And it was this post that I posted. It wasn't mine, but it was saying, be more than just beautiful, be smart, be intelligent, be brave. And I love that. It, you know, it said, you know, I'm a boss, you know, like it just had these positive words that these women can take every single day. And a lot of times we deal with not just physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, and we don't know our worth sometimes, our self-worth. I had lessons, I made them up. It's called Lesson 1, Lesson 2, and it kind of talked about like the not self-awareness, but like, you know, what was the first one I talked about? Like a brain freeze. Sorry.
No. We have them too.
It was like, you know, right, like taking care of oneself, taking care, self-love.
There you go.
Right, self-care, stuff like that. You know, and it was a lot of women told me, you know, like, I love that. I love that lesson that you did. You know, so I followed through and I did a lesson too. And I talked about happiness. And, you know, are you truly happy? Like, not just the, you know, I'm fine, I'm okay. You know, everybody sees this, I call it a mask.
Oh, yeah.
Just smiling.
You on IG just like, you all on the Instagram, you just smiling away. Just
smiling. Yeah. And, you know, like the self-medicate, the drugs, the alcohol abuse, stuff like that. And, you know, I've always, you know, grown up around a lot of women. I am the only child, but, you know. You are. Always feel like the oddball when I say that. But, yeah, you know, and other than that, I've had, you know, my mom, for example, in the audience, I've had a positive woman in my life to let me know, be independent. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do this. You can do that. You can. You know, I never was the type to actually be in a domestic violence relationship or actually have a man to tear me down mentally and in the insides, but I know what that's like. I witnessed it as a young child. And every day I would just, and like I said, with the stories of different women, I wanted to let the other women know, you see this woman here, if she's doing it, you can do it. You know, like, you don't have no excuse.
No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Not at all. You know, like, you are strong just like her. You have a purpose. Maybe not her purpose, but, you know, try to find yourself. Right, like soul searching, I call it. I talked a lot about the soul. You know, what do you want out of life as a woman? You know, and I just talked about a lot of different scenarios. Every day it was something new. Every day I would wake up, and the young lady that was actually pregnant, that's actually my little cousin. I did share that with the audience of MWM, and I saw, you know, younger girls that was like the age of 18. You could tell they were that age, 16, and they related to her story, and you know, and then I also saw other women that related to the menopause things, because that's a transition you're going through, and it comes on you fast. You know, I hear that a lot. You don't know the mood changes, the sweating, the hot flashes I've heard.
I swear I'm going
Girl, I'm going to get a fan now.
Because it's a little warm.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and,
but
you know.
From all walks of life.
Right, all walks of life.
Because all walks of life, and we need that, you know, that sisterhood, that, you know, that wisdom to continue to just grow and move forward.
And don't break each other down. You know, if you see that other woman doing something, motivate her. Because my main mission is helping and supporting one another. So MWM was all about, don't break each other down, build each other up.
That's
like,
right.
Fix her crown, fix your crown. Don't tear her down, you know. And I see that happening a lot in our community, you know. Oh, she's doing this, you know. She's better than me, or she got all this, why I don't got that, you know, like, we'll connect with her. It's all about networking.
Collaborating,
you know, utilizing your network and seeing what's out there, because, you know, she may give you some information you may not know, or maybe something you may need, you know, to help you. So, you know, I've had different women come to me, and it's amazing, and you just never know what's going on behind closed doors, and, you know, it just touches my heart. You know, and I plan on having another annually. Maybe next year, starting 2019, having a public event. All women come out. Maybe like a, you know, girl talk.
Absolutely.
Because we like girl talk.
We do. We like girl talk. Yes, we do.
Or something.
You know, I'm really excited for you and your future, because you're definitely very passionate about it.
Absolutely. The passion shines through. Definitely shines through.
So I'm definitely excited as you go through this. You will grow through this. And it is definitely a growing season. And once you found that niche that you're in, the growth that you're going to make is going to shock you. I promise you. Yeah, this time next year.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to find out what you're doing next year.
Okay.
I'm telling you, in this season of growth, it's going to be amazing. But I see the passion that you have, and I'm definitely excited for you.
Thank
you. Absolutely.
Thank you so
You've already started out. You've already beat me. My book is still on this flash drive right here. 2 of them. They still sitting right here.
It's coming. Right. I told myself that it's coming.
Right.
A lot of unfinished books on the shelf.
Yeah, because it's in your own timing.
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
But it's, you know, you get your motivation from other people who have already done it, and you like, you know, but you're not on no time frame of doing it, but you must do it.
You must do it.
You must do it.
Right.
You must do it.
So I thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you welcome, for having beautiful. Me. You're so welcome.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break here at Time for a Change, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, blow the thing up a little bit more, Cookie. Hello, Tracy. Happy birthday, baby. Sweet Tracy celebrates her birthday over here tonight, fellas. That's his fine little honey over here in all his orange. Thank you for coming out, baby. Civil City Honeys and Sweet Teresa. Hello, ladies. Come on. Super water you drinking over there, baby. What's up, Big Mike? Yeah! What into the 502 over here? Yeah! Oh, baby, TD. 6th Street over here tonight, y'all. Also, we want to thank Michelle and Miss Alicia and Miss Myra back there, y'all. Hello, ladies. Yes, indeed. Thank you for coming out here. Oh, and Miss Beverly. We sure enough can't leave Beverly out back there. Come on. Thank you for coming through tonight, me girl. Come on. Yeah. Woo. We got your fifth boy and all the on the highway. What's your name, baby? Stacy and Sean. Hello, Stacy. Happy birthday, baby. Yeah. I'm playing that shows and all that good. Heck of that jack. Come on. Yeah. Hello, Kim. I want to thank Miss Nita, Miss Tracy, and Miss Nene for stopping through here tonight. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Thank you for coming down here tonight, y'all. Yeah. What's up, Lou? And my man Snoop. Come on. Big Ed. Rayman Fred. Rayman Vance. Big girl, come on, girl to girl, yeah. Big H to the crew, yeah. My main man Love, yeah. Who else we got back there? Come on. My man JB. I don't know how we got JB back there. Woo. Got that whole crew over there, baby. Also, we got my main man Daryl Coley, and Big Jeff back there, ladies, and Big Craig. And the big dog got all of them. Big Lance. It's time to get this party started, baby. Going out to Sweet Feet. Let's do it again, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Time for a Change with Sherry
and McYon.
And we are here in the studio. We just got finished talking to Carose, and a very motivated and passionate young lady about encouraging the community and encouraging women and adults and men and of all walks of life, right? Mm-hmm. So and now we have Tenickia Polk with us. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's awesome. Good. I'm glad that you're here. So let me read your bio real quick. I'm always off task. Okay. So Tenickia Polk is the founder of the Survivor Empowerment Nonprofit, Community of Thrivers, a marketplace for change speakers book publishing agency. Tenickia is also host of the TV show Community Chat. Her passion for empowering people began with her own setbacks. Born into a disadvantaged community, she experienced violence and witnessed domestic abuse. Regrettably, Tenickia's struggles followed her throughout her adult years, leading to homelessness, domestic violence, and a myriad of health issues. But with the encouragement of the gospel, mentors, programs, and books, Tenickia was inspired to turn her life around. Now Tenickia enjoys spreading education, inspiration through her TV show, books, and seminars. Tenickia has served as the vice president of the women's group at Mount Vernon and marginalized underserved populations community representative to the Fairfax County Domestic Violence Prevention Policy and Coordinating Council. That was a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very long.
You should have told me to just say the acronym.
Right.
DPPCC.
Yes. Mouthful.
That was a mouthful. Tenickia shares her personal testimony of overcoming abuse, how she used biblical principles to overcome incurable diseases, including lupus, chemical sensitivities, food sensitivities, and allergies, as well as mental blocks such as low self-esteem, fear, stress, anxiety, depression, and more. Through her book, Jesus Juice for Health and Freedom, Tenickia enjoys teaching others how to avoid and recover from life's pitfalls. She is currently in pursuit of her Master's of Education degree in Educational Technology at Loyola University. Tenickia is also licensed minister at Bethel Church in Bowie, Maryland.
Yes.
Welcome to Time for a Change.
Oh,
yes.
you.
You have a whole lot going on.
Yes, she does.
Yes. And she's also the author to Jog to Your Blessings, Life and Business Planning Guide. We have one sitting up here. So, hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So it is such a pleasure to have Tenickia here. She is a blessing. Ever since I've met her, oh my God, it has just been a blessing to just know her. She is a powerful woman. She is doing a lot for our community. And she's also a powerful woman of God to be able to bring the godly principles to everyday life.
Amen.
For some positive change, right?
Yes, practical application.
Yes. So tell us a little bit. Like, you have a few books.
I do. So this is my 5th book. Okay. And I go back between, I have, my first book was, I'm a teacher as well at a Calvary Christian Academy, which is in D.C. And so my first book was a book to teach my youngest students, kindergarten, 1st grade, about computer technology. Okay. My second book, try to get them in order. Anyway, another one of my books is called Dig In. And it's for teens and adolescents, and it's to teach them decision-making skills. It's kind of everything. Even once I went through the whole domestic violence situation, it's kind of a book of everything I wish somebody had told me before I experienced it.
Right.
So, and just to help them to know that they are making decisions, whether they think they are or not, and just to empower them in those decisions. And then I have a book. I had a publishing company, so I have a book on how to get publicity for your book. And then Jesus Juice for Health and Freedom. And that book is all about how, as you mentioned in my bio, God healed me just through applying biblical principles of so many incurable sicknesses and diseases. And so that brings me to Jog to Your Blessings. It's like I kind of plant a book at every little intersection of my life. And so this is where I am now, and it's a great place to be.
I love that.
And so JOG is actually acronyms.
JOG is an acronym, yes. Big on acronyms. JOG stands for Just Obey God.
Oh, okay.
Just Obey God.
Awesome.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I don't know what it is about, the way that God has given me things. The previous book was Jesus Juice for Health and Freedom, and people are looking for juice recipes. There's no juice recipes in there.
Right, I'm a juice. Let me get this book. I'm juicing in the morning.
And that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, I'm juicing. Okay.
No, it's Jesus juice. It literally is Jesus. Like, he is the juice.
He is the juice.
And it's the same thing with jog. People are like, oh, I need to start exercising. No, I'm sorry. It's just obey God. Right? So this is the road I'm on, but it helps me. This is something that, I'm not just telling about. These are practical things that I practice on my own every day and have found to be effective. So, and with Jog to Your Blessings, it's one of those, I experienced some domestic abuse. One form of abuse that's not really talked about a lot is financial abuse. And so, in my situation, that definitely was the case. And in getting out of that situation, it left me in financial ruin. As you mentioned, I was homeless at a point and without a job, and I lost everything. And so just having to rebuild after that point, it's hard. It's really hard because you're rebuilding not even from nothing. It's like from less than nothing. It's a hole that you have to fill. Right. Well, and even, there's a hole because, there was financial abuse, meaning that my ex-husband, he wasn't putting in his fair share. He was pretty much trying to live off of me. And so that left me with a lot of debt because everything was in my name, unfortunately. And, it was hard, and I'm also a planner by trade. I used to have a event planning business, and so I'm really big on planning. And what I found with Jog is, I made my plans to get out of debt, and was for the most part disciplined about it. But it didn't work. It wasn't until I just obeyed God that I really start seeing a lot of progress financially. And so the nonprofit that I have now is Community of Thrivers. Because I appreciate the survival period of my life, and thank God for it, because you have to be a survivor. But now, I want to thrive.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that means getting everything that belongs to me, and more, and helping other people. I work with a lot of victims and survivors of domestic abuse, and these are intelligent women. One close woman that I work with is she's a doctor, but yet she's finding herself at below the base level, just trying to survive. And so that's tough, and I don't think that God gave us all the gifts that he gave us, to live at that level. So it's like, okay, what do we need to do to thrive? And that was one of the basis of the book. That was one of the inspirations of the book. The other inspiration came from the idea, I'm a minister at my church, and like I said, I always had a desire. I shouldn't say always, but a couple of years ago, I had a desire just to give more at the church. But, I have these candid conversations with God, like, did you see my budget? Do you see where I am?
Hello.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, well, whatever, I'm tithing. I think that should probably be okay. But really, God has done so much for me that somebody else had said that they had a goal to give 90% of their income and live off the 10. And that touched me because I'm like, wait, God did more for me, I know, than he's done for you. And how come I don't have that same type of heart, towards to want to live like that? And so it challenged me, and I've adopted that same goal, not knowing where the money was going to come from. And God gave me a plan to give through our church's cafe. And you know, I argue with him a little bit. You know, I'm like, really, you know. But when I just obeyed him, you know, he just really turned things around. When I started giving sacrificially, I went back to teaching, and I had a $20,000 pay cut. And I'm like, okay, this really isn't my season to give, you know. But at the end of the year, I noticed that I had earned more than what I had before I went back to teaching. God had just, because I, you know, had been given, he had restored that money and given me so many more opportunities. It's like, wow, this is not about me planning my way out of debt. This is about following God, and he's going to provide the way. He provides the exactly. He provides the plan for the process. So Jog to Your Blessings is really about setting godly goals that God can bless, that he can turn into blessings. I think we have a couple of things wrong. I mean, because we try to plan to get our blessings when a blessing is something that we should receive from God. And so I'm not sure if you're familiar with SMART goals. Okay, so the S is specific, M is measurable, A attainable, R realistic. Here we go. Everybody knows SMART goals, and T is timely. Well, God gave me a different revelation, which is one of the biggest foundations of the JOG goals, which is, okay, SMART goals are okay, but we are only responsible for the S and the M. This is we have to set goals in partnership with God. The ART is, which I call God's art. He's responsible for. He's the one that's going to make it attainable, realistic, and in his time.
Yes.
So we just have to stick with the SM, specific and measurable. It's like, okay. And then, you know, it outlines what are godly goals, you know. And it's been very powerful in my life. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that is so true, because I know even like for me, with me coming out of my 9 to 5 and trying to, you know, do my nonprofit and my speaking and everything, and you know, I've come from the real estate industry, and so where the money was very lucrative, you know, and for God to say, okay, now you have to come out of that, it's either now or never, and I had to really really trust him in this, that when it looks like it's crazy, and I'm thinking I have my plan of how I'm going to do it, but then God shows me another way, and he shows me how to bring revenue, and that the ways that he have me doing it, I will make more money than I ever could have made doing what I was doing. But you're so right, it's about being obedient instead of the sacrifice. Is that you have to be obedient to what he needs you to do. So I'm going to start reading this book tonight.
I'm definitely gonna,
I definitely am going to start reading this book tonight, because I love that with the whole SMART thing. You're responsible for the S and the M. And we do have to step away and let God do his part.
And a lot of times we get in God's way. Or we get in our own way. Right? So this is a good way to learn how to separate. Okay, listen. You know, specific and measurable, we get it.
Right.
Okay, attainable and
realistic.
And timely.
Who's to say what's realistic?
Yeah, exactly. And in what time?
Well, I know what realistic is, but don't get in your own way.
That's right. That's right. God can do so much. Like you said, we're getting in our own way, because his ways are much greater and higher than ours.
Because I need it in like 6 months. But that's not maybe the plan.
No,
that's I'm not trusting the process when I throw mine.
And the thing is, you can work yourself crazy and get it in 6 months, but is it going to last?
Exactly.
And then what is going to, you know, what are you going to sacrifice in the process of doing that? Right. You know, because all our blessings from God, they add no sorrow. You know,
that's true.
All the riches from God add no sorrow. So.
Yeah,
that's true. My business consultant, she has this thing where she says that, you know, success is not haphazardous. Is that, yeah, you can go out here and you can make the money and you can do that, but can you repeat it? And it's about repeating that, like, because you can get money, but look, if the foundation is all messed up and you doing people dirty in the process, can you made $1 million doing people dirty, ain't having no foundation, but can you duplicate that? No, you can't duplicate that.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate that.
You got to figure out a whole other way to do people
dirty.
Yeah. Without going to jail.
Yeah. So she was like, you always have to have that foundation.
That's
and
right.
so you can be able to repeat those things that you're doing. So that's powerful.
Awesome.
This is really good.
nice.
See, so
And
much
you know what else
education, so much education and wisdom. And we're not on here twerking.
I know. You could, though.
It's a different place for that,
Right, yeah. But before we go to
to
break, real quick, I wanted to say that I really liked how you said that at this intersection in your life. I always tell people that it's very important that you graphically see something for your life, and you see your life in intersections. And I've always seen mine in like a path of in the wilderness. So where are you in your path, right? So when you said in this intersection of my life, I automatically saw a roadmap, and I'm like, oh, okay, so she's at this intersection of her life, and when she was at so she's past. Martin Luther King Highway. Right? She's over here. You know what I mean? But I've always encouraged people that when you think about where you are and where you're going, you have to vision something for your life, right? And whatever that is, if it's a clock and you have around the clock, as many times that clock goes around, but as long as you know that okay, I'm at the 12, I need to get to the 3, all right, and as soon as I'm right now I'm at the 6, and as soon as I get to the, but it has to be the vision that you have. And when you said intersection, I was like, wow, that's
and you have to be honest with where you are.
Right.
I mean, you can't start from 0 all the way, in like 2 days. You know what I mean? And
the 13 steps to get upstairs. You can't start at step 6.
You skip 6 steps. You're on step 7.
If you can figure that out, you let me know, because it just doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely that was. I just had to say that because I'm creative. So. So, okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back at Time for a Change with Sherry.
And when we come back, if there's anybody want to call in to be able to ask our guests any question, we're definitely going to bring back Kate Rose to the platform. And so you can give us a call in the studio at 240-719-2560. Thank you.
Dedication went out to my man, Tigger. This is his sound here. This is Jam with my man Mix. Yeah! With my man Big Mike from the 5-0 crew. Right, young Mike. Come on. Say what? Yes, indeed. One more time. Get on down, Calvino. Get on there, baby. Also, we got my man Donnell over there. Good to see you, baby. And what's your name, baby? Hello, Shannon. What's your name, bro? Sweet Bonita in here. Yeah, we got Lisa. Yeah, we know Sweet Lisa. Park Road. Say what, baby? Yeah! Come on! Happy birthday, Lisa. Yes, indeed. Also, we got Sweet Boosie and all the crew. Shoot it down, yeah. Go. Don't want to burn the Hit on down, flow. Say what? Woo. Yeah. Back it up once even quicker. We got my man Bobby Brown here. Say what? My man Sherman and Don. Say what? What's up, Stu? We got the 20-mile crew. We got my main man Dirk. Clinton and the crew. And Sweet Candy too, y'all. I say what? What's up, woo? My man Snoop. Yeah. My man Darryl. Yeah. Big H and Brad. Yeah. My man Fats. Yeah. Big Joel. Yeah. Main man Waukee. And get the rest of what? You wanna run away? Say what? Hey, Trinidad, yo. You wanna see you, man. W.S.U.
My man Lance, yo.
Say what? Y'all wanna run the world? Say what? Hold on, buttons. Come on.
Hey, house man, yo.
Say what? Y'all wanna run the world? Say what? Say what?
Say support the show.
Yeah. Y'all wanna run the world? Say what? Say what? Oh, go ahead, girl.
Live the bowling, yo.
Say what? Y'all wanna run the world? Go ahead, girl. Get on down, Carla. Go on and get your freak on, girl.
Stand, yo.
Say what? Y'all wanna run the world? We got your ghost. Yeah. Oh, watch yourself, baby. Yo, check it. And now it ain't no party like the R.E. party, cause the R.E. party don't stop. It ain't no party like the R.E. party, cause the R.E. party don't stop. It ain't no party like the R.E. party, cause the R.E. party don't stop. Beverly, it ain't no party like the R.E. party, cause the R.E. party don't stop. Bring it on, Say what? We got my main man Quincy. Say what? Say what? Go ahead, girl. Yes, indeed. My man Lazy Joe. Say what? Get on down, girl. Say what? Yes, indeed. Put out the Pricey Road. My man Big Ty. Sweet Beverly. Say what? Say what? Say what? Hey, Mr. Chucky. Bling, bling, bling.
God to touch, yo. Yo, my super set.
Come on. Bling, bling, bling.
Hey, Rocky.
Come on. Bling, bling, bling.
Jam and Jeff, yo. Yo, my super set.
Say what? Come on. Bling, bling, bling.
Hey, Dick Dunk.
Bling, bling, bling.
My man Dave, yo. Yo, my super set.
Bling, bling, bling.
My man Buck.
That's a walk road. Bling, bling, bling.
My man Lance, yo. Yo, my super set.
Say what? Bling, bling, bling.
My man Week.
Bling, bling, bling.
My man Down, yo. Yo, my super set.
Bling, bling, bling.
I got it for that work.
Black and Chris. Bling, bling, bling.
Somebody touch, yo. Yo, my super set.
Okay. Welcome back to Time for a Change with Sherry.
And McKeon.
And we are wrapping up at the end of our show. We always bring you wonderful guests and wonderful information and resources. So we're going to let our guests close out with any information that they want to share with you so that you can have that information available to purchase their books and get in touch with them.
And also, one more thing, if you have any questions, we have a few more minutes. So if you want to call into the studio, call 240-719-2560.
I'll start first.
Okay.
You can Google Carose Survivor. Carose is Karose Survivor. Everything comes up. I have an author page. I have a Carose Survivor page, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. Just Google Carose Survivor. Everything will come up. And definitely follow me. Join the movement. It's it's ongoing. It's always something new. So just keep up, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Tell about your book.
Yes, From Nothing to All. It's available ebook, and I definitely have paperback copies, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Google Play Books, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Any events coming up?
Yes, like I said, the Invisible You, not the Invisible You, I always mix on my events, I'm sorry. Invisible, that's the mental illness event. That's coming up May 1st.
Okay.
And yes, and it will be launching, I will be talking about different things, how to cope with mental illness, how to reduce stigma. That's something I talk about in the book, and just bringing mental health awareness.
Is there somewhere people can go to sign up?
Right. Definitely. All you have to do is just it's like all online. Like I'd make blogs, vlogs.
Okay.
Blogs, such things as that. And yes, so I'm very, very active on social media.
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
So definitely you can send us a link, and then we'll put it up on our page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also Tenickia.
Yes. Jog to Your Blessings is available on Amazon.com. I actually also have an event coming up this Saturday, which is a workshop based on Jog to Your Blessings, and it's from 12 to 2 at Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church in D.C. What else can I tell you? Please do visit the website for my nonprofit, which is communityofthrivers.org. You can Google me, find out a lot, probably too much. Just
Spell
under
your name for them, please.
Sure, Tenickia, Tenickia, and the last name is Polk, P-O-L-K.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
You ladies are phenomenal.
Yes.
You ladies
Great
are
work.
phenomenal.
Great work.
And we are so excited to read the books. I mean, I'm excited. This is awesome.
Great work.
Definitely always talking about those things that people don't want to talk about. So mental illness and the whole abuse thing is that we have to be able to retrain our minds of how we think and how we see things and how we view things. So this is the start. This is what it is. So get their books. Support sister, women empowerment. Let's support one another. Get their books. And if it's not for you, buy it and give it away. Okay? So that's what we're going to do.
And just know that there's a story in you as well. And just know that we can learn from everyone's experience. We can learn from everyone's situation and what they've been through. We can learn from everybody's experience. The way what you've been through and how you explain it may be totally different than the next person. And you might touch one person or stop one person from getting into an abusive relationship or from committing suicide to going through suffering in silence with mental illness. You never know. So don't ever underestimate your story.
The power of your story.
Your story and your testimony is just that, yours. So make it do what it do, right?
Amen.
And do what you need to do and put your words and put your story in writing so that you can make sure that you leave a legacy behind for your children's children and so for someone else because you just never know.
Absolutely.
So I encourage you to support our what do they call authors that are not like out in the indie right indie authors. So I encourage you to support them because that's where it matters, right?
Absolutely.
Just like with grassroots nonprofit organizations, that's where we automatically have like hands-on. We're touching the community, you know. So I definitely encourage you guys to go out and to support these two fabulous young ladies.
Absolutely.
Can I offer one more thing?
Yes.
So one thing that you mentioned in my bio that I didn't talk about a lot today is I have another business, Marketplace for Change, and I just want to offer right now. It's a website that offers publicity for promotions for people who are interested in speaking in the community. So right now it's open for the first 100 people to sign on for free. So you might want to check that out. It's Marketplace and then the number 4 change.com.
Oh, that's like us, Tom.
Yes. Yes.
Ain't that something?
I know. We've got to do
I don't believe in coincidence.
Sure don't. Sure don't.
Look at us. We're so tacky.
Yes. That's right. So y'all better get it too. And we know we have a lot of people out there that follow us that are speakers, you know, that are life coaches and authors and everything. This is a great opportunity to be able to to get on somebody else's platform to be able to share what you do and bring your message.
And that's what
it's
about.
Free.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you beat free?
Right
now.
For now, exactly.
For now. But how can you beat that? You at least got to start, some people, it's free for now.
For now.
So let's get it.
Right.
Yep.
Let's get it done.
And if you don't,
shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
So again, we thank you ladies so very much. We will definitely have you ladies come back on again. You're always welcome here at Time for a Change. You want to come on, you have something else you want to share, another event you would like to promote or something, you guys know how to get in contact with us. Shoot us a message or whatever, and we'll get you on here. Even if it's for 10 minutes, to be able to share that. You just may want to plug your event. Just let us know. Yeah. We have the airtime, and this is what this platform is about. Awesome. It's about sharing what's going on in the community and connecting the community.
Yes. So as we wrap up real quick, Time for a Change comes to you every Monday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on VoxWave.com. We thank you for tuning in. If you're interested in advertising with Time for a Change, make sure you email us at time4changeradio@gmail.com. That's time4changeradio@gmail.com, and we will get back to you. We are currently offering a special for all advertising, so make sure that you send us that message as soon as possible, because that will fill up fast. And we're looking forward to this weekend, Saturday. What's going on Saturday?
I don't know.
The walk?
No, not this Saturday, 28th. It's the 28th.
Oh, it's the 28th.
Yes. But
21st.
this weekend, we're going to be at the Zonta Zine on Friday evening down in JC's, the JC's in Waldorf, and they're going to have comedian Tanya Lewis there. So also, go on our Facebook page. There should be a link to the Zonta Club of Charles County. If there's any tickets still available, you definitely can purchase your ticket. Yeah, and then
that's
next
a wonderful
week,
way to support the community
Absolutely.
as well. You want to know what's going on in the community? You want to know this is what's going on in the community. That's what we bring to you. So you can definitely get involved and support the Zonta Zing. Zonta Zing was that comedy show.
Yes. And also, we're now on Instagram, so definitely follow us. Yes. Yay. So definitely follow us on Instagram at Time for a Change with Sherry and McYon, and also
Time for Change Radio.
Time for Change Radio. Sorry. So follow us on Instagram, and of course you already know that we're on Facebook. But if you're not following us on Facebook, please follow us. And also individually, you can follow me at McYon Brown Anderson on Instagram and Facebook, and also the Lakeisha Brown Foundation.
And you can follow me at Sherry Cook on Facebook and Cook _Keome Works on Instagram. So it's been an awesome show. Ladies, thank you for taking time out your busy schedules to join us. And we look forward to having you back on soon. And everybody have a blessed week. We'll see you next Monday.
6:30. Bye.
Bye. Sweaty, baby. Ready.